Welcome to the mysterious universe. Today, we will explore kangaroos together. Australia is a strange land, full of paradoxes that seem absurd yet make perfect sense. A vast and expansive land, yet sparsely populated. The weather can be scorching hot, but at times the snow piles up thicker than a sumo wrestler's body. Additionally, Australia is also known for its diverse wildlife, including spiders, kangaroos, and snakes. Just hearing the name is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. However, don't let these things hinder your progress. Australia has always been a captivating travel destination, attracting visitors from around the world to explore. If you too are enchanted by the magical beauty of this country, let's explore the mysterious universe through a video about the 19 weirdest and most unbelievable facts about Australia. This page will provide you with useful knowledge to help you feel more confident before coming here. Do not wear pink pants in public. That's right, more specifically, Isn't it so strange and unbelievable? Those who adore soft orchid pink pants or dreamy pastel pink hues. You should only wear this outfit at home, it suits that best. If you go out dressed like this in Australia, you'll get judged right away. Now, let's get straight to the main story. Australia is renowned for its ideal living environment. The political system is stable, and the crime rate remains low. However, if you visit the temple on Sundays after 12 noon, if you wear pink pants in public, it could be considered a violation and result in a heavy fine. Oh, does that sound old-fashioned and weird to you? But to this day, for reasons unknown, Australia still adamantly maintains this ban. Perhaps it's partly because of the strange things this country brings. I put down my chopsticks and stopped eating, truly unable to comprehend it. Still, if you're planning to visit Australia this weekend, remember to mind your outfit. Located near the Feggeron Valley in the village of Daldanup, this place is only about a 2-hour drive from the bus station. You can't help but be amazed when stepping into the enchanted forest filled with countless tiny clay figurines. This area is located precisely at Lot 4059, Wellington Mill Road, Western Australia 6236. Famed as Glomest View, this place has become a globally talked about destination. Amidst the backdrop of mint forests and wild grasslands, tiny figures emerge in vibrant colors, appearing busy at work. Flourishing and thriving in a peaceful space, gently adorned by the murmuring sound of a flowing stream. According to European legend, these tiny creatures dislike noise and pollution, often living deep underground. Uncle Dwarves. Another legend tells of a beautiful girl in Holland who could hear the whispers of nature and realize the existence of tiny beings toiling away in the wheel of life, helping those in hardship. The Potter-shaped figurines according to her imagination, and through this, her family gradually prospered. Many writers have drawn inspiration from these stories to create characters like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Did the little boy's Lothin, Glow, and Met View truly bring a magical space for both children and adults? The garden decorations not only create a romantic space but also evoke childhood memories through the stories she loved. However, the origin of this city remains a mystery with many different versions. Some people believe it appeared by chance. Some others believe that the outdoor performance attracted a large number of children. And someone placed a figurine as a prayer for fertility and growth. These items are usually taken along whenever moving, rather than being left behind. Glow, Met View not only brings joy to children but also stirs adults' hearts, as if reliving the beautiful memories of their childhood. The local culture here is incredibly diverse, and anyone who wants to add an effigy just needs to call and ask for permission. Notably, among those thousands of figurines, there are not only Buddha statues but also Zen masters, reflecting the harmony of religions and beliefs within this miniature world. The figurines originate not only from Australia but also from many other countries such as New York, Paris, Japan, England, or Spain. Glow, Met View emerges as a vibrant and lively multicolored painting. You are not allowed to hold 50 potatoes at the same time. Western Australia is the state located in the western part of Australia, covering 1% of the country's total area. Interestingly, there is a regulation here that prohibits hoarding more than 50 potatoes. Unless you are a member of the Potato Association or have full authorization from the relevant parties. A 1946 law stipulates that a first-time offence carries a fine of 2,000 Australian dollars, equivalent to approximately 34 million dong. If you re-offend, you will be immediately fined 5,000 Australian dollars plus a penalty calculated based on the weight of the potatoes. Does that sound strange? But when the law was enacted, the country was in a post-war recession. This argument aims to prevent all speculative actions and hoarding of potatoes to sell at exorbitant prices. So far, the law has not undergone any changes. Therefore, if you're dreaming of opening a fried potato shop in Australia, make sure to complete all the required registration procedures. Suppose someone has had a valuable item stolen or lost and later wants to recover it, along with offering a ransom or reward. In South Australia, this act is against the law and can result in a fine of up to 500 Australian dollars, approximately 8.5 million Vietnamese dongs. Additionally, the state of Tasmania has a similar law. People are not allowed to post reward notices for stolen items without committing to prosecute the theft. The 1953 law in South Australia prohibits offering, selling, or renting refrigerators or freezers with a capacity of 42.5 liters or more. However, there are two exceptions. First, you may buy, sell, and use large-sized refrigerators, provided that all doors and compartments can be easily opened from the inside. Second, older refrigerators imported into the state before 1962 can still be used normally, as long as they remain in good working condition. Specifically, in this case, if families recognize their violation and wish to dispose of an oversized refrigerator, they are required to remove the door before taking it away for disposal. Otherwise, this would also be considered a violation of the law. Harming pigeons is against the law. The reality is that in Victoria and South Australia, you are not allowed to unlawfully kill, injure, or capture pigeons. Even the mere intention of making a plan was already blocked. In Victoria, the maximum fine for harming pigeons is up to 155 Australian dollars, equivalent to 2.6 million Vietnamese dong. In South Australia, the maximum fine can reach up to 250 Australian dollars, equivalent to approximately 4.2 million Vietnamese dong. If it's a domesticated pigeon, the violator must also compensate the owner. Occasionally, you might see someone tying a dog to a bicycle to take it for a walk. Or tie the dog to the roof of the car. This behavior is prohibited in the state of Victoria, Australia, under a 1966 law that strictly bans people from tethering dogs to vehicles. And all vehicles were then required to move within the public area. Violators will be fined 777 Australian dollars immediately, equivalent to approximately 13 million Vietnamese dongs. That's quite an impressive number, ISN. This is considered one of the strangest regulations that leaves many people utterly surprised. If the light bulb in your home loses power or experiences issues related to the electrical system, you must absolutely not attempt to repair it at home on your own. The law requires citizens to hire licensed electricians. Professional certification for repair work. Because they are concerned about occupational safety, it would be very dangerous if you lack expertise in that field and attempt repairs on your own. This will undoubtedly lead to unpredictable consequences. And the law will undoubtedly be enforced impartially. Located in Mackenzie Bay, east of Sydney, there is a small beach. But you'll have to wait 7 to 10 years before you get a chance to see it. This beach is often submerged underwater, with only a fragile strip of rock protruding above the surface. Late last year, in the familiar quarry area, a gently sloping beach suddenly appeared. The skin, smooth and porcelain white, would appear unexpectedly even after dusk had fallen. The beach was quickly discovered by locals and widely shared online. Local residents and tourists quickly flocked to witness the rare beach with their own eyes, which only appears every few years and vanishes after a few days. When the tide rises, the beach is submerged again by the water. This place is described as a stunningly surreal landscape, ideal for swimming and surfing activities. However, local authorities still advise residents to exercise caution when swimming in this area and absolutely avoid swimming in spots marked with red flags indicating danger. Due to a shortage of rescue workers, especially those with little experience. Here are the natural English translations for the given Vietnamese text. But for Australians, the dingo fence holds an entirely different meaning. The dingo fence stretches over 5,600 kilometers, starting from the town of Zimpo in Queensland and running all the way to the southern coast of South Australia. Since the 1860s, many ships from England arrived in southwestern Australia to establish the first settlements, bringing rabbits along as a food source. But the rabbits reproduced so quickly that no predator could keep up. Hundreds of millions of rabbits overran the continent, ravaging crops and causing severe damage to the people. The Western Australian government has decided to build a 1,833-kilometer-long steel mesh fence to prevent the spread of rabbits. However, this project was abandoned because it couldn't control the rabbit population, though it worked effectively for pigs, kangaroos, or sheep. Another issue that has emerged is the rampant wild dingo packs, which attack and kill millions of sheep each year. At the beginning of the 20th century, the state of Western Australia renovated this fence system to prevent wild dogs, which is why the structure is called the dingo fence. In 1930, Queensland built a 32,000-kilometre-long steel wire fence. By the 1940s, state authorities had interconnected the systems, forming the longest continuous fence in the world. By 1980, this structure was 8,614 kilometers long, but it has now been shortened to 5,614 kilometers. If you want to walk along this 1.8-meter high fence, it might take you up to 6 months to cover its entire length. Today, the fence is manned by 23 full-time staff who take turns standing guard in shifts according to the whistle signal. Every year, the Australian government spends about $750,000 to maintain the dingo fence. The project has achieved some success after years of implementation, although wild dogs still frequently break through fences to invade the parrot's territory in southern Australia. The dingo fence acts like a natural boundary, dividing the ecosystem into two distinct parts and sparking much debate over environmental issues. In areas with fewer wild dogs, species like rabbits, kangaroos, and rodents thrive, while the populations of lizards and other mammals and marsupials decline. Plants are also affected when the grass supply is no longer sufficient to meet the needs of all species. Meanwhile, areas with large populations of stray dogs tend to have sparser and less fertile terrain. According to research by scientist Les Nick from the University of Sydney, the dingo is considered the apex predator of the food chain. Plays a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance and promoting biodiversity across Australia's vast territory spanning 2 million square kilometres. Sydney is a major port city located in the southeastern region of Australia. This is the largest, most famous, and historically oldest city in Australia. However, Sydney is not the capital of Australia, you know. Canberra officially became the capital of this country in the 1820s. European explorers and settlers have been discovering and settling in Canberra since that time. The population in the city of Canberra was growing rapidly, and by 1901, a fierce debate had erupted. The capital of Australia is the city of Canberra, where the Parliament House is located. The two cities debated between the parties are Sydney and Melbourne. After a period of discussion, the parties agreed that Australia's capital must be located at least 160 kilometres from Sydney and could not be within the city itself. While waiting for the new capital to be completed, Melbourne will serve as the seat of Parliament. One notable point is the capital of Australia, which encompasses various areas such as Dalgety, Bathurst, Amberley, Oran, and after much debate, in 1909, Canberra was officially chosen as the capital of Australia. May 9, 1927, marked a significant milestone when the Australian Parliament House was officially relocated from Melbourne to the capital city of Canberra. After his second term, Prime Minister Robert Menzies proposed a policy to develop Canberra into a robust city. With the precise efficiency and decisive leadership style of this Prime Minister. Here are the two natural English translation options, choose one based on context. The period spans from 1955 to 1975. After many months of waiting, Canberra is now undergoing remarkable transformations. In Australia, from 1828 to 1902, swimming at the beach during daylight hours was considered illegal. Australia boasts up to 10,000 beaches, but unfortunately, swimming is banned during the day in some areas. Surely many of you think the same, right? But fortunately, after many days of relentless effort and struggle, the swimmers were recognized, and swimming across the 8 seas also became legal. Now, tourists can comfortably swim at any beach. Australia is a continent with a vast landmass that has existed for 40,000 years. The indigenous Australians, also known as Aboriginal Australians, have lived on this land for a long time and used a variety of different languages. Today, Aboriginal Australians are one of the minority communities in this country, and recognized as a member of the indigenous Aboriginal groups in Australia. The first European believed to have seen Australia was a Dutch navigator, who lived near the Murray River area in the southeastern part of the continent. His name was Wyndham Jansen, who lived in the year 1606 during the 17th century. Gradually, Europeans began to set foot and settle in Australia. Next are people from Asia and Africa. Australia is known for its dynamic and robustly growing economy. Here are two natural English translations of your Vietnamese text. These factors make Australia an attractive destination, drawing thousands of people from around the world to settle there each year. Thanks to the presence of both immigrant communities and indigenous peoples, Australian culture has become incredibly diverse and vibrant. Here, you'll meet and chat with friends from all over the world. You also have the chance to experience diverse cultures from many countries right here. Additionally, there is a community of over 200,000 Vietnamese people living scattered across the states and territories of Australia. You can easily find fellow countrymen and enjoy familiar dishes in Vietnamese neighborhoods. During a dive exploring the underground waters in New Labour, Western Australia, a group of divers accidentally discovered a strangely shaped cave that looks like a smile. This bizarre act quickly caught the attention of the scientific community and environmental research groups. The researchers Sazate Tu, Katie Bregwell, Liam Elburn, and Andrew Holmes conducted this study. Miterain Gillen and Lan Paulson from Mercury University were utterly astonished when discovering life existing in this cave deep beneath the ocean floor. Smile Range. According to the research team's report, the barnacle is covered by a strange, transparent layer of mucus. However, they couldn't identify what this mucus was, only knowing that it was a type of bacteria. They were utterly astonished to discover countless slime-like objects deep within the cave. The emergence of this bacterium has left scientists scratching their heads for answers. It is unclear why this type of bacteria can survive in deep-sea caves, where there is absolutely no sunlight. Moreover, they are growing extremely vigorously. After a period of research, scientists have identified these bacteria as belonging to the Tomatreuta group. This type of bacteria survives by oxidizing compounds present in the saltwater cave. Moreover, they are a species that can survive without sunlight. Scientists have used advanced equipment such as electron microscopes to obtain accurate results. However, locals still whisper that Laughing Cave is home to aliens due to its strange and inexplicable existence. Lake Hylia with its pink waters. Ho Hylia, located on Middle Island in Western Australia, is a mesmerizing natural wonder with its vibrant pink hue that sparks the imagination. This stunning saltwater lake is surrounded by eucalyptus groves and soft shrubs, creating a surreal scene amidst the endless blue of the Southern Ocean. The pink-hued Lake Hylia, with its unique coloration, has left both scientists and visitors baffled for decades. Makes them appealing and sparks curiosity. Unlike seasonal natural phenomena, the enchanting pink hue of Lake Hylia remains pristine and most vibrant at dawn. Create a scene that leaves viewers in awe. Currently, many research projects and scientific studies are being conducted. The exact reason why the lake is pink remains an unsolved and fascinating mystery. Therefore, the pink Hylia Lake is not an ideal swimming spot near home. However, you can certainly manage to live here if you put your mind to it. If you're used to the bustling, crowded atmosphere of big cities in Vietnam. When traveling in Australia, you'll notice a clear difference compared to bustling cities like Hanoi or Saigon. At first, you might feel a bit empty, but then you'll experience more peace and comfort. Because this country has an excess population. Australia's land area is 48 times larger than that of the contiguous United States and roughly 50% larger than all of Europe. But the population density was the lowest in the world in 2019, with only 3 people per square kilometer. The population density of Vietnam in 2019 was 314 people per square kilometer. Also, if you land in Australia while it's still daylight, you will admire the vast expanse of the country, the 6th largest in the world by area, from a high vantage point. S-shape resembles a dog. Isn't that interesting? Ski in summer, swim in winter. In Vietnam, most tourist spots are hot and sunny in June. If you want to escape the heat, traveling to Australia is the ideal choice, just about 13 hours of direct flight away from us. Currently, Australia is entering winter with cold weather. Located in the southern hemisphere, the land of kangaroos has a climate completely opposite to that of Vietnam. During Christmas and New Year, the weather is often hot with temperatures that can rise above 30 degrees. If you have the chance to visit Australia in July, you'll get to admire the snowfall and experience a unique Christmas atmosphere unlike anywhere else. Every year, Australians often hold an additional Christmas celebration in the middle of the year to experience the traditional chilly winter atmosphere. On December 24th, people often celebrate at the beach or by the pool. A little burp, but still fun, right? To explore all of Australia's beaches, it would take you up to 27 years. Australia's coastline stretches nearly 50,000 kilometers, connected by over 10,000 beaches, more than any other country in the world. If Australia were truly a dream coastal city, it would indeed be fitting, as 4 out of 5 people live within 50 kilometers of the coastline. The villagers can freely go to the sea to swim or surf whenever they like. If you visited a different beach in Australia every day, it would take you 27 years to explore them all. In recent years, archaeologists have discovered many new fossil specimens not only in Europe but also in Africa and the Americas. The ancient paintings were drawn on the walls of prehistoric caves in Australia. Specifically, in a remote district of Cambridge, Australia, archaeologists have discovered an ancient mural with an extremely bizarre shape. The man in the painting is an elderly gentleman wearing a traditional long robe. On his head, he wore a round iron helmet. The steel helmet revealed only the eyes, looking no different from the helmets of astronauts, making it impossible for others to clearly see his face. The painting bears inscriptions that no one has deciphered to this day. Above this character, there are 62 small circles arranged in 3 rows, placed without any particular pattern. The leftmost row has 21 small circles, while the middle row has 24 small circles. The row closest to the character only has 17 small circles. Who is the person depicted in this mural? An angel, but his attire doesn't. But like a space pilot in a science fiction novel. Moreover, inside an ancient stone city atop Island Mountain, archaeologists also discovered several cave paintings with strange shapes. These paintings are vast in scale, vibrant in color, and depict countless figures. And the animals had strange shapes, like in fairy tales. The tree is about 6 meters tall, has no mouth, but at its top, there are strands of tendrils spreading out in all directions. Perhaps this indicates the light emitted from their heads. In various regions of Australia, ancient murals with a similar style have also been discovered, expressed through incredibly delicate lines. The mystery has compelled archaeologists to dedicate painstaking effort to their research, expending great mental energy. Some people believe these phenomena are masterpieces created by aliens. Some people do not agree with this viewpoint. But to this day, no one has been able to provide the most accurate answer. You see, Australia is a great place to live, but it also holds countless mysteries and strange things. So what impressed you the most here? What do you think about this? Share your thoughts by commenting below. Don't miss out on exploring many other exciting things. Goodbye for now, see you again soon.